What if I told you that now you can buy a humanoid robot at the price of a car in India? And it's not from Boston Dynamics, it's not from Tesla, it's probably from a company which you have never heard of. This is our Unitree G1. Humanoid robots have always been insanely expensive and just used for experiments and outside the lab, to be honest, useless. But the G1 changes that. It's one of the first relatively affordable humanoid robots starting at around just $13,000, that equivalents to 13 lakh rupees in India. And that's a big deal. At the first glance, the G1 looks compact, almost like a smaller human. A dwarf human, let's say, because its height is about 1.3 meters. And the weight is around 35 kgs. But don't let the size fool you. This robot is packed with insane engineering. Up to 23 to 43 degrees of freedom, high-speed PMSM motors, industrial-grade joint bearings. And what does that mean? It means that it can move with crazy flexibility, even beyond human range. We are talking deep squats, dynamic balancing, martial arts like motion, and this is where the Unitree G1 gets insane. Unlike traditional robots that move stiffly, the G1 is built for dynamic motion. Let's have a look at it. So it can basically walk and run, recover from pushes, climb uneven terrain, perform complex motions like backflips as you all have seen in some viral clips of this robot. But what actually makes it special? So there is a term called reinforcement learning and imitation learning, where the robot learns to imitate your action. You tell him how to do a particular task and the robot tries to copy you. And just like a small child, it learns by doing. So every iteration it does of the same action, it gets better with time. So basically, instead of programming every move, you teach it. And that's a huge shift in robotics, considering the 21st century. Now let's dive in and see what actually makes it smart. The G1 comes with a 3D LiDAR, depth cameras, 8-core CPU onboard and a microphone array plus speaker. So this allows it to understand its surroundings, navigate autonomously, interact with humans, and also just by being in the environment and observing, it can learn to behave like a human and perform all the physical tasks. Most humanoid robots fail at one thing: hands. But the G1 introduces force-controlled dexterous hands, and also this means that it can grip delicate objects, adjust force dynamically, perform precise tasks. In demos, it has already shown abilities like handling tools, manipulating objects, even cooking related actions. That's a massive leap towards real-world usefulness. And keeping things real, let's talk about its limitation. The first being, the battery life is not so impressive. It just lasts about 2 hours. It still needs much more of a training to act like a adult human, because just kids make mistakes, so does this robot in most of the scenarios. Also, it is not fully autonomous in complex environment and is basically focused on research and development, but the deployment in a real world scenario needs further improvement. So considering the pros and cons that we have discussed, why is everyone discussing about the Unitree G1? So because G1 represents a shift. This is where humanoid robotics becomes scalable, hackable and buildable, and once developers get a hold of it, things will move much faster. One crazy thing that I found most impressive was the GitHub support and the documentation of the Unitree, which you can check out yourself on their website and GitHub. I'll provide you the links for it. If you're a college student, I recommend you diving deep into those codes and the lines. So the real question is, what happens when a million developers start developing something similar to Unitree and humanoid robotics? Comment below, what would you make this robot do inside your home if you had a hold of it? And if you want to dive deep into robotics and AI, please consider subscribing, because this is just the beginning.